Okay, so I mean, like I was saying, we just spent the last 4 years making a film called Wyrmwood. I don't know if any of you, who's actually heard of Wyrmwood?
Rock and roll.
Fantastic. Back in 2010, me and Tristan decided to make a zombie film because it's cheap to make a zombie film. All you need is a bunch of friends who don't mind getting muddy and bloody, and you need a camera. That's where Tim comes in. He's our DOP.
Yep.
He had a camera. He's also very talented. I directed it. Tristan and myself wrote it. He did the production design. I edited it, and it took 4 years. Back in 2010, we thought, we're going to make a film. It's going to cost 20 grand. We budgeted it out. And when I say budgeted it out, like we didn't actually do anything. We just thought 20 grand. And we figured that's a budget.
Maybe we just like pluck that number from the air. We're like, yeah, we could film. We could film it over probably like 6 weekends. So we could probably get it done, 6 months by Christmas. That's the sort of thing we're aiming for. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 4 years later, it was just a bit different from that.
Yeah. 4 years later, here we are. It was a long process. It was kind of very difficult. We wrote the film, and then we started filming. A year and a half into filming, we realized that we were making the wrong film. We did a test. We screened it in front of like 150 of our friends and family, and we sort of realized that we'd written the wrong film. It was very... Okay, so we had 30 minutes worth of footage, and we watched the crowd when they watched the 30 minutes, and the crowd reaction was this. For 30 minutes. We regrouped. We realized we'd made an artistic film. I was trying to make the Taxi Driver of zombie films, and I realized nobody wants that. So we decided to sort of regroup, rewrite. We rewrote the entire film. We scrapped literally 25 minutes worth of plot, 25 minutes worth of scenes that we'd shot, and we made kind of the film that we're going to show you parts of tonight. I guess what I'm trying to say is, independent film production, it's a slippery thing. You have to be able to roll with the punches. You have to be organic. You have to, if you're going to go out and do it yourself, you have to learn very quickly. And that's what we did. We learned very quickly in 4 years' time.
And you got to get your mum to do the catering as well. Yeah. Everyone loves mum's cooking, and that's what keeps people happy on set, and it's cheap.
That is true. Can we show the trailer just to show people who might not know what we're talking about,
Ready? Let's do this!
That's kind of the trailer. It's like that's literally the first 60 seconds of the film. That's how the film opens. Basically, you know, like I said, you know, we started making this in 2010. It's taken 4 years. We're lucky enough to have been able to bring an amazing team together. We went out and talked to a bunch of distributors. Like when we first started, we went out and we shot like a 7-minute teaser trailer. Has anybody here seen the 7-minute teaser trailer? 2 people. That's awesome. 3 people. It's even better. It cost us $7,000, so that's like $1,000 a minute. And we went out. We knew we had a concept. Do you want to talk about the concept?
We had a concept. Nah, we came up with this idea. We're like, yeah, we're going to make a zombie film. This is awesome. We basically wanted to do something that was like guys in armor that was like kicking the shit out of zombies, because that's the kind of movie that we love to see when we're kids. And we're like, you know what? Fuck, like no one's done this for a while. Like I don't think anyone's actually done this, but it was
Not
just
since
like
Mad Max.
Yeah, but it's like guys like with guns, you know, like shotties like this, like that sort of shit, like mad stuff. We just, you know, awesome stuff. So we're like, yeah, let's do this. This is mad. This is awesome. How do we do it? And we're just, we didn't even have a script. We're just like, yeah, that's a concept. You know what? This scene, this is definitely going to work. Like, it'll be amazing. And then we'll just like wrap a movie around it and it'll be great. So we like got on eBay.
Well, the idea was Mad Max with Dawn of the Dead. So Mad Max, like me and Tristan, we're brothers. So we've been watching Mad Max since we were like very young.
Love that shit.
Too young. Like our mums so shouldn't have let us watch this shit. But we were watching this stuff since we were very young. So Mad Max, like, you know, once a year we'd watch this thing. And it's an amazing film. And nobody had really done it since the 70s or 80s. And we've been waiting for somebody to do it. And it's interesting to see, you know, the Mad Max trailer come out recently, because it's like, finally, you know, like 20 years too late. But we decided to just go out and do it ourselves.
But it looks awesome, by the way. Has everyone seen The Fury Road? Oh, like just wiping the drool off my mouth, eh? Bring it on.
Yeah, when I saw the latest trailer, like today, right? It was released today. It was like a single tear rolled down my cheek. It was just like, that's what I wanted to do. But, you know, previous to that, though, nobody, like, he hadn't fucking done it. Like, George Miller's out doing, you know, like, films with penguins. Right, exactly, yeah. I don't want to see that. Good film, but whatever. I'm not 8. So we decided to go out and do it ourselves. Like another film that was huge for us was Dawn of the Dead. You look at that film, you got zombies, you got the post-apocalypse, but it's fun, you know? And I think George A. Romero was, you know, the first person to really bring fun back into zombies. And it's like, look, we're Australian. The best thing that we've ever done next to Gallipoli and a bunch of other stuff is fucking Mad Max. That's what we're known for. Like, we are the best at post-apocalyptic films. Let's continue that trend. What can we do with no money? You look at George A. Romero's Dawn of the Dead, like you can kind of see how you could do that with a bunch of friends and a camera. So we thought, okay, we're going to meld those two things, you know, the aesthetic of Mad Max with Dawn of the Dead, which is another amazing film that we love.
And that's where eBay comes into it. You just got to sit on eBay for like 6 weeks in a row and just find like mad cheap shit and just spray paint it black. Spray paint it black, that's all you do, eh? You just get like anything you can get that looks anything like armor or helmets, and you just spray paint it black and then scrub it, and it looks dirty and old and shitty. And then you put people in it and give them a gun and then make them run it like zombies in prosthetics. And it works.
This is my production designer.
I was like, nah, we got this in the bag, man. We got this in the bag.
So buy it on eBay and spray it black.
Yeah. And then Kiah's touch, it was just splash it with mud. If anything didn't look good, just more blood, more mud.
Yeah. Like we got like literally some of the best makeup artists, or some of the best new untried makeup artists in Sydney. And these, you know, these guys are just amazing. All we did was email makeup schools. We were like, look, we're making a film, and nobody's making a film in this country. So we're emailing them, and like I did really detailed storyboards, and you know, we had a script for the 7-minute film, and we got these amazing makeup artists. And you know, we sat down, we had a meeting, and I was like, you know, I want it to be like, you know, Dracula meets, you know, this and that, and with the veins coming out. I want it to be something that nobody's ever seen in terms of the world of zombies. And we did a test, and you know, what we got was what you've seen previously. So I was like, well, okay. Let's splash it with mud and see what happens. I'm a big fan of Terry Gilliam. Have you guys seen Jabberwocky or you know, the Monty Python's Search for the Holy Grail.
It's just filth and mud everywhere.
Big time. Yeah. One of the best things about those films is the texture, and it's just mud, you know. And so I'd you know, they'd spend 6 hours making up these zombies, and I'd spend 20 minutes just splashing it with mud. And
Kiah actually took care for every single zombie that came through like prosthetics and through the makeup department. He would take the time to like splash the mud and the blood himself. So
I'm the Jackson Pollock of independent filmmakers.
Go to Kiah, get your mud and blood done.
Yeah,
I think he actually became a little bit addicted to it.
This is just what happened to us. Yeah, so we.
I'd be like, hey, where's Kiah? We need a shoot. And I'd turn around and see him with these blue gloves, just going, and then like flicking zombies up, just going hard every day.
You make it sound more sexual than it needs to be, but that is true. Yeah.
It's like, take your pants off.
Occasionally,
quick.
I use the gloves.
Fluffer to the set. Fluffer to the set. Thank you. Please continue.
It's part of the joy of the job. So you know, there we were. So we did the 7-minute thing, and we took it round to a bunch of distributors, and we had a concept. It was a killer concept. My brother and I, contrary to, we come across like a couple of idiots right now, but really
we are actually a couple of idiots. Just disclaimer there, just letting you guys know that.
We do have
I don't actually have any shame about it.
Guys, you know, there's stuff to be, yeah. We've been making films together since we were like 13. You know, we've done a bunch of music videos, most of which Tim has shot. We've done short films till they're coming out our ass. All I've wanted to be my entire life is a film director. I'm completely obsessed. So to get to the point where we had a concept, and I'd worked in sort of advertising for, you know, God, about 6 years. You know, Tim was my DOP for, you know, 3 years of that. I got to the point where I realised we could seriously make a feature film. Basically, that occurred when the 5D came out. I looked at that, and you can buy that for like $2,500. Like a couple of years ago, that was huge. It looked like 35mm film. So when I saw that, I realised we can buy that camera, we can make a film. So that's when we came up with the idea for Wyrmwood, and away we went. We took the concept and the 7-minute short to a bunch of distributors. What happened was most of the distributors wanted to come in and change things. You're not going to edit it. We're going to change everything.
The script definitely needs a massive rewrite.
Yeah. Now, I didn't want to do that because I'm stupid and I'm arrogant, and I really wanted to be a director. So we decided to just rewrite it ourselves. The amusing kind of ironic thing is most of the things they said we kind of did anyway. So distributors kind of know what they're talking about, but really, like, what we didn't want was a boss. There was a point we had a meeting with a distributor. It was like the third distributor, and you know, I had a day job, you know, as an advertiser. Tristan had a day job doing. You were a project manager, and you know, this guy really he wanted to take over, because he'd been in the industry for 5 to 6 to 7 years. I don't fucking know. He sounded like he'd been in the industry for 100 years. He knew everything. You know, he was a writer, director, producer. This guy, you know, he knew everything that we were doing wrong. And Tristan took me aside, and I said, "What do you think?" And he goes, "Man, I've already got a job." And an explosion went off in my head, and I realized, you know what? This isn't about money. This is about us making our first film. I've wanted this for 20 years. Probably more, and I was completely passionate about what I was doing, and I knew I was right. So I wanted to make the film that was in my head, not a film that was half in my head and half in a distributor's head. So we made the decision to forge ahead. Now, the only way we could do this was by filming on weekends, and as we later learned, filming on weekends over a 4-year period, and putting every single bit of money that fell into our back pockets into this. Oh, you're just scratching your face. I thought you were going to say something. Okay.
No, I was just thinking about all the credit cards that we still have to pay off. Like, it's the same deal. Like, you just pump all your money into it, and then like anything that you can borrow or loan, any like, you know, any friend that you can get to like help you out, you're just like calling in favors. So we've probably got like 15 years worth of favors that we have to pay back to all of our friends and family. So I'm just thinking about that and it's like, whew, fuck, all right, yeah. It's a lot of free, electrical work that I've got to do.
Yeah, but that's your problem. I'm fine. My credit cards are fine. But the point is, we decided to do it on our own. The only thing that was open to us was crowdfunding. So we looked into it and we realized there was kind of Kickstarter, there was Indiegogo. Kickstarter at the time was the bigger crowdfunding company. They had a wider reach. But in order to join Kickstarter, you had to have an American bank account, which I don't know if that's changed. Does anybody know if that's changed? It's changed? It's fantastic. When did it change? Yeah. Do you know, when did it change? 8 months ago. It's 8 months too fucking late, man, because I didn't have an American bank account.
Indiegogo was awesome, though. Indiegogo did really good for us. They were really sweet, and they helped us out too. And yeah, we got some good fundage from them anyway. But Kickstarter definitely would have been a bigger one. Would have been a bigger thing at the time.
But we decided to go with Indiegogo for that reason, and we went for production funding. So we decided we needed to go for funding. We knew we needed about $150,000 to $200,000. So we went for 20, because we knew that, hey, fucking who are we, So I'm going to show you our Indiegogo campaign right now, just to give you an idea of sort of what we decided to go with, and we'll go from there.
What is it? Fuck! Hey! What is he? Not a zombie! No, he's not a fucking zombie! Ah, shit! Oh, fuck me! Is he alright? Is he okay? What do you fucking think? He's pretty fucking dead to me. Oh, he said fuck! Hey, try this. I'm keeping this.
Oh, hi. My name's Kiah Roache-Turner.
And I'm Tristain Roache-Turner, and we're producing and directing a little independent feature called
Wyrmwood. Okay, 1 year ago, we made a little film asking all of you to jump on board and help us make this film a reality. A couple of weeks ago, we wrapped.
the last 12 months have been mental.
I mean, I don't even know where to begin. Okay, first up, we turned our mum's backyard shed into a friggin' bloodbath.
We even drilled holes in our mum's garage door to look like a bullet effect, and she was not happy.
Look good though.
Enemy down.
So then we stepped it up. We designed and constructed our first ever full set. It was a medical holding cell complete with a maniacal doctor carrying out some fucked up experiments on our leading lady. Scalpels, medical equipment, blood all over the wall. It was some really gruesome shit.
Then, we shot a massive horde scene up in Woodford in the Blue Mountains where our heroes face off against a horde of bloodthirsty zombies. Our makeup team churned out more zombies in a single day than has ever been attempted in this country before. And we set a world record for the amount of prosthetics used on a feature film in Australia. That's not bad for an independent film. Which brings us to the road scenes. We shot all this insane Mad Max looking stuff on a creepy highway out in the middle of the bush. That shoot was insane.
We finished off with our biggest scene yet. We did one final gargantuan scene out in a freezing deserted pine forest. We had multiple choreographed fight scenes, some sweet-ass special effects, and some of the finest performances to date from our super talented cast. Not to mention, our crew had production down smooth. So, here we are. We finally wrapped principal photography.
And all it took was 3 years of our lives, all of our life savings, and literally calling in favours from all of our friends and family.
But it also took a whole lot of help from all you guys out there. So first up, a big thank you, because the last 12 months have been sick. Right, we finished the hard part, which is actually making the movie. Now we've got to send this sucker off in style.
Because as you know, without top-notch post-production, like musical score, colour grading, digital effects, this film will be half the film it could be.
We've got to make it look sexy. Otherwise, we're letting you guys down.
At this point, we've got the post-production budget for this. With your help, we can get the budget for this bad boy! So check out what's on offer, make your pledges now, and help us make this film as cracking as we know it can be.
That's yours. It's your one.
Do you know what, Tim? I'd really like to ask you a few questions. Actually,
Yeah, mate.
To be truthful, Tim had to shoot. He's the DOP, and we had. What was the budget again, Tim? Like in terms of, in regards of technical equipment.
Like petrol money, or we didn't have a budget. I talked to the guys that I rent stuff from, and they were like, "Hey, do you want a hand?" And we're like, "Yeah, that'd be sweet, good." So they just lent us out whatever we kind of wanted on the weekend. Digital Logic, shout out. But
Amazing company.
yeah, they kind of hooked us up, and so like 1 week we started off on a 5D, and then occasionally they'd be like, "Oh, hey, we've got a C300 this weekend. Do you want to have a go?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure, man." So we'd just we'd shoot on that, and then the next week they were like, "Oh, we've got an FS700," and we're like, "Great, that's cool." And then the week after that they're like, "Hey, we've got a Red available," and we're like, "Cool, yeah, we'll take it."
And then the next week, the Red's not available.
We've
You
got
have the C100.
got a C100.
We shot on a C100, a
C100.
C300, a 5D Mark II,
3,
5D Mark III, a 1D. We shot on a Sony FS700. We shot on a Red Epic,
Red Epic,
and Red
Scarlet.
and a partridge in a pear tree.
I've got a quick question for you, Kiah. How did that affect you in the post-production stage, mate? Was it easy to deal with, or?
Yeah. I'm getting flashbacks, man.
Yeah.
It took 9 months to edit. It was difficult, but we got to the end. We realised we'd shot on multiple frame rates. Frame rates is a really important thing. A lot of you guys know more than me.
I was like, "Hey, dude, we got to set up the cameras." He's like, "No, we got to shoot, man. We got to shoot." So it was like stuck on 29 frames or something. Or
He's absolutely right. And the worst thing is, he said that every day.
That sounds so different from what you've been saying about Tim. You're like, every time we're on set, it was like, "Oh, fuck, yeah, like, Tim, we got to set up the frame rate issue." And Tim's like, no, let's just shoot.
Yeah.
Fucking interesting.
In post-production, I was like, the fucking frame rate issue's a DOP issue! This shit shouldn't be my fucking... shouldn't have to be dealing with this shit!
Yeah,
thing is,
well.
he took 10 minutes to tell me
Yeah.
every day. I should be dealing with this shit.
Can I ask Tim a question, Kiah? Is that all right?
Yeah, go on.
Tim, all right, so you shot a zombie film, horror, full of gore for like 4 years. How do you feel about blood, man?
I've got a phobia of blood.
It was so cute. Sorry, I have to tell
Do you
the
still
story.
have a phobia of blood, or have you
did
sorted
we
that
help
shit
you
out?
with that?
or-
Passed out like 3 times.
I got to tell this story. It's beautiful. We're in Newcastle. It was the first 7-minute thing we were shooting. And it was the first big blood gun thing. And Gav had built a blood gun, which is basically a thing where you push blood through at about, it's like 30 kilometers. It's just like, and the blood splashes out. It's very, very important for the kind of
And
films
as
we're
well,
making.
like I was there with a cup of blood as well, just to give a little bit more effect. So I was like, extra blood.
So we get a blood gun, a cup of blood, and somebody there with just more blood. And I'm like, Tim, there's going to be some blood. And he's like, he's all pale. And he goes, that's fine.
All right, Kiah.
You're on the 50. Yeah, that's fine.
Got the 50 mil.
Slow-mo.
50 mil's good. Slow-mo, yeah.
Action. And it just goes poof. And
My cup of blood. All over
this
Tim.
area here.
Missed my target completely.
And this is pretty much what happened. Did you get it? And he goes, yeah.
Got it.
We had to catch him, and I was like, fuck, it's going to be like years of this. But no, you recovered pretty well, and you were fine. Like, we used the blood gun a bunch,
Sure.
times more than that. And so,
Yeah.
but that first time, it was so cute.
Speaking of blood, there was actually a couple of times. I don't know if you saw the medical holding cell that we built there. All right, so we literally like splashed that to the absolute shit house with blood, and our camera crew were in there for like probably like 10, 12 hours at a time, and we had like all of our lighting was like covered in just like blue cellophane. So it's just like really gruesome, really, really messed up, and it's only really like the camera crew and the actors that were in there, but. These guys actually, they'd come out of like 6 hours and just be like, yeah, and I'll be like, are you all right, man? Like, I don't know, there's just so much blood in there. It's like really fucked up. Like, actually like doing some mental damage. So how hard was that for you guys? Like, did you guys have like messed up dreams and shit for a while?
Just, I mean, I was good, but I feel like every time we shot, we nearly killed someone. So...
That's a joke. It's just a personal joke. Just insurance and everything.
He's a comedian. Health and safety
Super.
was looked after on every set that we put together.
yeah.
I was actually the health and safety officer on every set. I did full safety talks, just so everyone knows everything was by the book.
Can I reenact the safety talks? Okay, here we go. 6 o'clock in the morning. We're in a forest in Oberon. 0-degree temperatures. He goes, fucking, all right. Shit's going to be flying. We're going to set Alex's head on fire at 12 o'clock. Just think about that.
Let me just put my stubby down for a sec. Let's get down my stretches.
There'll be no drinking on set.
Except for me. Suck it up, guys.
There'll be some holes. Look out for them. I believe there's deadfalls. I've talked to Oberon Council, there's deadfalls. I've marked them out in my mind. If you're uncertain as to where the deadfalls are, talk to me. Other than that, look out for drink lots of water. Precipitation is for fuck all, and something like that. You know what I mean?
Any questions? I'll be in my trailer, guys. Thanks.
This is not true.
Our safety was actually legit.
Yeah, no, it was
Actually
totally
legit because
totally
people
legit.
nearly got hurt a lot of times, but because you were there and
They didn't live to talk about it, so they can't actually comment.
I did want to talk about the military holding cell stuff, though. Like, that was interesting. We had 6 days to shoot a lot of stuff. We had maybe I think 5 scenes, and they were really, really complicated. I storyboarded them out. It took me 4 weeks to storyboard, and I never storyboarded again. It came out to 600 frames. That's 100 setups a day. We made that. I'm not even kidding. we got it down to like 70 or 80 a day. We did 100 storyboards in a day. Now it's really interesting because I talked to a lot of sort of young filmmakers and shit, and I shouldn't gloat. I hate to gloat. I love to gloat. I really do. They're like, we did 25 setups in a day. Hollywood does 7. We did 25, and I'm like, that's pretty good. It's really good. 25. Well, we did like 100, and like I try and like, you know what I mean? But like we did 100 setups a day, and fuck, like at about 3 a.m, Tim would get a look in his eye, like he wanted to go home. It's just a look, it was like, I want to go home.
Okay, I want to go home.
The reason why he shot the whole film, and I will never shoot another film with another DOP, is he didn't go home. Like, we shot from 7 a.m. sometimes to 3 a.m, and this guy, man, if you can focus at 3 a.m. after doing 100 setups a day, like that's phenomenal. Like that's what independent film is made of. Now hopefully that'll change on the next film, but yeah, it was tricky. Yeah. How did that feel, by the way?
I mean, it was great. It was great doing 100 setups every day. Yeah. I mean, ideally, it would have been great to do 7 a day, but you just can't. Like, you got to get it done. So, and everyone's in the same boat anyway. Like, everyone's putting in the hard hours. It's not just like a couple guys on the cameras and stuff. So, like, I mean, Kiah, he would just fall over at the end when he's like, "Oh, we're wrapped," and he'd just fall over. Like, it's so. Yeah, everyone puts in the hard hours, and you just gotta all right, refocus, press record, make sure everything's working. Like, does it tell the story? Cool, done. But yeah, like I think it's doable. It's doable. You can do it, and just yeah. Hopefully we won't be able to. We'll do a bit less next time. That'd be great.
What was the hardest thing for you as a DOP working on a budget where it's like, budget, that's funny, like a no budget film? Like you worked on this for 4 years on deferred, so like, there's no money up front, like you're doing it for the passion, you're doing it for the love. What was the hardest thing for you as a working DOP to turn up on set and do your work?
Catering. Probably the hardest thing was like I'd have this idea to like do something, or like Kiah would be like, let's do this great thing, and we might not be able to pull it off because of the time restriction because of the no budget. But it was actually kind of like a blessing as well, because you had like this sweet crew, like everyone was in it together, and no one was like, everyone was doing it for the love, I guess, as well. So you didn't have this like thing like where there's a guy like, oh, I'm on the clock, I got a jet at 6. Everyone was like, oh, I'll stay till 1 as well. Like, we'll do the same thing. But I think that was probably one of the hardest things was legitimately the formats, because I knew it was going to be a mess in post. Yeah. Sure.
It was, yeah. One of my favourite stories is like in the Oberon Forest, like was our first like crane. It was the first time we had a crane, and we were so fucking proud of our crane. DigiLogic supplied a crane. And it was this great thing. We unpacked it, and it was amazing. And we're about to put it together. And this was like, 6 a.m, and I went down, it was below 0 temperatures, and I was like, we're going to shoot an amazing thing. Tim, we got so many crane shots. It's going to be amazing.
So many crane shots.
I was like, how's the crane going? He's going, the crane looks good. The box looks good. I was like, the box, that's fantastic. How else are we doing? He's going, the booklet is in German. I'm like, okay, do you speak German? He goes, no. Does anybody in the vicinity speak German? He goes, no. So he put this crane together from a German booklet. That's why I work with this guy, because he doesn't speak German, he feels German. And the crane worked perfectly. So well done. Yeah. Open it up.
Wait. I got something to do. First, same as before, congratulations, you guys. Fantastic. Well done.
We're not done yet.
Yeah.
We release in February, so we're very nervous. Anyway.
So my question is, it's all about the mayhem. What were your 3 favourite weapons, and what did you name them?
Oh, dude, we didn't actually have names, but like for me personally, the favourite was definitely the double barrel sawn-off shotgun. Like for me, I just see it and I just want to pick it up. Be like, oh, and they'd be like, no, we got to shoot, man. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'll grab that for you. There you go. Hard to like let it out of your hands, man. It was so much fun. And a little story, my friend, like, because I've got like a trade background, right? I'm an electrician. I got a really good mate who's like mad, heaps better on the tools than me. He actually just like made this shotgun with his bare hands. Like it was amazing. Hey, he just welded it, filed it, and then and some tools. He didn't like just do it out of his fingernails or some shit. But when he presented it was just like like glowing and shit. It was mad. What about you guys?
Oh, the katana. I don't. Yeah, that might be a secret. Crap. I don't know.
Do you know what? My favourite thing was the Beast. That's the vehicle that we use in the film. One of the things, one of the concepts that me as a director, like I just jumped at. I was talking to my brother, back in 2010. I was like, "What's our zombie hook going to be?" Okay, we're going to make them fast during the night, but slow in the day. So it's like George A. Romero during the day, and 28 Days Later during the night. So we get the best of both worlds. That's good. We got that hook. That's brilliant. But they're borrowed hooks. What's our hook? He came back to me a couple of nights later. We lived together at the time, and he'd had 2 beers, maybe 3, and a tequila. And he goes, "Look," he goes, "Okay, fucking, how about this? The zombies breathe a methane that we can actually utilize to run vehicles." And I'm like, "Say that again?" And I'm like, "Fuck, that's our Mad Max hook, man. We can strap a bunch of fucking zombies to our vehicles and run the vehicles on a zombie." That's a good hook. And I'm thinking, like, if it's Friday night and people are going, "What film are you going to see?" There's the Owen Wilson wedding thing. There's the Angelina Jolie Oscar thing. Well, there's the thing where zombies power vehicles through the methane that explodes from their face. What? Fuck Owen Wilson. I want to see the third one. I want to see the fucking third one. And I'm like, okay, brilliant. Give me some of what you're drinking. Let's write the script.
What was your favourite weapon out of Wyrmwood?
Okay, it was the vehicle that this motherfucker built. Okay, now, we were living together at the time in Rozelle, and we bought a Toyota. Nah, yep. Nah, yes, no, maybe. Confirm, deny.
Guys, again, eBay always delivers $1,700 with bright yellow, but 20 cans of spray paint, makes it black straight away. Remember what I was talking about? Spray everything black, scratch it up a bit.
Purchase it on eBay, spray paint it black. Secret to success. So Toyota Hilux, he basically, with a bunch of his mates, took this Toyota Hilux, and in front of our suburban home in Rozelle, he put a bunch of spikes on it, zombie-proofed it, made it look like some kind of Mad Max nightmare, put a cage on the back, and like he's got a compressor strapped to the side, so it looks like, this kind of machine is going to be able to, convert zombie methane gas into fuel. And he did this over a period of about a week, you reckon? Felt like a week. That's my favourite thing. And like a year later, we decided to put like a gas-powered harpoon on the top of it. Really? You guys got somewhere to go? Who's bored? What was the question again? Favourite weapon? That's my favourite weapon. Done.
We are sort of getting a bit tight with time, so do you guys want to tell us a bit of a wrap-up and sort of where, when, like, are people going to be able to see this and what's happened? You guys have gotten distribution and all that sort of stuff. Give us a wrap-up on that.
All right, rock and roll. So, guys, it's coming out early next year. We can't give you an exact date yet because we haven't been given the go-ahead, but it's looking like around sort of couple of months after Christmas. We're going to have like an alternative release, so it's not going to be a traditional theatrical release, but we'll be in hopefully about 20 to 40 screens across Australia. And yeah, we want to try to make a big event out of it, so get people involved, get people dressing up as zombies, lots of fake blood, you know, torn clothes and stuff like that, and just make it a, you know, couple of nights of mayhem.
Look, it's going to be mid-February. You guys have to come, seriously. If everybody here is kind of interested about what we're saying, please go to our Facebook. We're going to give you the exact date next week with the new trailer and the new poster. It's going to be big. Please come mid-February and watch the film. That's really all I have to say. Thank you for listening to our drivel. I hope you've learned something. I've had a lot of fun. Thank you very much.